Hey everyone, Sky here to discuss Annabelle Comes Home, starring Vera Farmiga, Patrick Wilson, barely, McKenna Grace, Madison Eisman, Katie Saurafe, and Michael Cimino, and directed by Gary Dauberman. Now, I must say, both times I saw this was very little crowds, I will say. Just very. This movie's not doing very well as far as I'm concerned. Probably the least amount of money that's earned in the Conjuring universe. And they are expecting this not to do much, but let's get into the movie. Ed and Lorraine Warren, returned by Patrick Wilson and Vera Farmiga, take the doll from the first Conjuring from the three nurses called Annabelle. And it takes it home, and they run into an accident while on the way home, and they go to a different way home, and their car gets pulled over by a shock, and Ed fixes the car, and Lorraine sees Annabelle as a ghost, and a ghost randomly pushes Ed off the car, and truck driver almost hits him. But is fine and realizes the doll is evil, and brings a priest home to his own place, and puts the water of Holy Spirit on the doll, traps it inside a glass box so it doesn't escape, and that as an opening grabbed me. I was enjoying it. 1 year later, their daughter Judy, played by McKenna Grace, gets picked up to go to school by Mary Ellen, played by Madison Eisman, who I'll review again this year in... And I've reviewed her before in... I really enjoy McKenna Grace in this role, as she is a cast out at school and nobody can go to her birthday party because of her parents, and Mary Ellen has a crush on a boy who works at a grocery store called Bob's Got Balls, played by Michael Cimino, and her friend and Mary Ellen's friend Daniela, played by Katie Saurafe, tells Mary Ellen, I'm so used to Mary Ann versus Mary Ellen, it's kind of weird, about her crush with, let's call him Bob, because the name I said was way too fucking long. Back at the house, Daniela knocks on the door for 10 minutes and barges in on Mary Ellen and Judy, and she gives Judy some roller skates and promises Mary Ellen to not snoop around or touch anything, and she does. And I thought this whole movie was going to kill her, but spoiler alert, she lives by the end of this movie. And I wish she was dead by the end of this day. By the end of this movie. But we learn a little bit about Daniela's father, who's dead. The bride that's introduced in this movie is pretty fucking scary, but because she walks in from mirrors and outside the windows, and I like as a scary character than La Yorna, Daniela, Mary Ellen, and Judy see some of the Warrens' case, and I like the projection. That will come back and scares the demon away. Though, that was a well done way to bring it back later in the movie. They play a board game until Mary Ellen answers, and not only sees Bob, her crush, but a pizza dude who gives Bob advice about how to woo Mary Ellen, some rock and roll. And I think that's good advice. At one point later, he'll sing for her while Daniela and Judy watches. And I thought that was cute, while putting Judy to sleep. After Bob sings to Mary Ellen, he hides because a werewolf in a cloud comes and attacks him while hiding in the Warrens' chicken farm. And I thought, did a chicken get eaten or killed? Or was that Bob squealing like a girl? Daniela goes back. I don't know, and they never bring it back. Daniela goes back to the possessed room in the Warrens' house, and I personally thought she is so dead. And the closing of the box didn't get me jumping twice, both times I saw it. But overall, I was laughing throughout the whole movie. Mary Ellen does her homework until she hears noises, as the room goes dark, she gets a flashlight to see where the fuck she's going until she's until she sees coins from dead bodies' eyes falling down, being dragged by a demon, and goes to Judy's room while sound asleep, and she wakes up and sees the doll underneath her covers, and that scary demon from the first Annabelle movie appears. That's a dark creature, and Annabelle stands up like it's alive. I kind of fucking knew it after creation, but I don't know if I should get into that. Mary Ellen and Judy go to the possessed room and finds Daniela in there, and they get scared and run out of and get Mary Ellen's asthma medicine. And Daniela gets possessed by a demon, and Judy sees the werewolf cloud, and Bob saves her life, and Judy saves Mary Ellen by giving her her medicine. And Judy feels Daniela is possessed in her gut, and they go downstairs to find Annabelle, and they find a dark room to go in and find Annabelle, and Mary Ellen goes in the room to find Annabelle and grabs her own dead body. This whole movie, like Annabelle creation, is very quiet. Like, my God, and she gives the doll to Judy and tells her she's fine, and Judy takes Annabelle back to her glass prison and puts her in and locks her in after they defeat possessed Daniela by turning on the projector, of the Warrens' case. The last scene is Judy having her birthday party, all with just her and her parents, Ed and Lorraine, all by themselves at first, until Mary Ellen and Daniela and her now boyfriend Bob with Daniela's brother Anthony and all of her friends being convinced by Daniela come in, and Lorraine tells Daniela she sees her father and tells her he loves her, and I was alright with this ending in my mind. Now it's time for the rating. I'll give this movie a 5.1 out of 10. The best of the Annabelle films so far. And there are some problems, sure. I only get scared once, and I had a good time with it. And if you like The Conjuring, you'll enjoy this better than the other ones, except for the first Conjuring. Conjuring 1 is still my number one as far as the series goes, but the rest are dreck, except for maybe this one. This is second best at best. So I'd like to thank you guys for joining me, and until next time, it's over.